Hi, welcome on into Courtside. I'm your host, Courtney Webb, and we are a digital series about QVC entrepreneurs. And today we actually have a family business of 4, and it's the Breezies ladies. Welcome on in, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
So I'm going to have each of you go through, starting with Kathy. Tell us, one, who you are, say your name, and then also your position within the company.
Hi, I'm Kalina Gendel. I'm kind of the mother hen of this group, also known as the official CEO of this group.
Hi, I'm Kalina Gendel. I'm COO. I guess you would call me the enforcer of the group. I'm also the oldest of the Gendel girls, not including my mom. My mom is obviously the oldest.
Hi, I'm Larissa Gendel. I'm the president. I am the middle child, and I am the typical middle child. I've also been called a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm the baby, and I'm the vice president of creative marketing. So everything you see on our social media account comes from me.
Oh, awesome, ladies. Thank you so much. So we're going to take this as it goes. Just know if you have anything to say, chime on in because it is a family business and we love to see those dynamics. So starting off with Miss Kathy. Kathy, I want you to take us back to the beginning. This started in 1994, right, with you and your husband. Tell us how that all began.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Kalina was probably in the end of her senior year in high school, and the 2 little girls were young. And Craig had actually developed a fabric that all of you well know called Ultimaire. And it was logical to put it in the crotch panels of panties, in the linings of bras, because it was something to control moisture management. So we thought, oh, this could be a slam dunk. Every retailer is going to want this. But as it turned out, we were banging on door after door, and people were afraid that we couldn't convey our message just on a simple hang tag. So we didn't know at that point what we were going to do, because I think it was now up to like 14 or 15 retailers, big retailers. And we did, and then we had this magical moment on 34th and Madison, which, by the way, kind of here we are.
That is incredible. So starting on a street corner, that's what actually brought you to QVC. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. We were so discouraged. Craig and I were like kind of looking at each other saying, what the heck are we going to do now? But we didn't say the word heck. We took it to the next level. And at that moment, it was like a godsend. We ran into believe it or not, the executive VP of QVC, who Craig had known for many, many years. We ran into her and she said, what are you guys doing? And we told her about our project, about the development of the fabric and how we wanted to get it out to everybody. And she said, be in my office on Monday. She said, is it patented? We said, yes, it is. And she said, be there. And that kind of started the whole thing. And here's 25 years later.
Oh, that is incredible. So you actually brought, as a pioneer to television, the intimates category, basically. Tell me what it was like navigating that and how you did that as an entrepreneur.
Well, it was funny because Craig he was actually president of an intimate apparel company. I had been in the fashion industry with a major department store. We kind of got together, but it was really kind of scary back 25 years ago. We're taking underwear. We're talking about all the properties of wearing underwear on a TV channel. And, we didn't know where the bounds were.
Mm-hmm. If I can chime in here, they literally couldn't even say the word crotch for crotch panel. They couldn't use the word boobs. I mean, there are so many things that were, uncharted territory at that point, and they always had to figure out where that line was because it was so conservative and hadn't been done before. So I really give her kudos because I don't know if I could do it because those words come out of my mouth all the time.
So as far as coming into QVC, let's actually go in. So Kalina, now enter you. When did you decide to come into the business? Because you're the oldest, right? That's what you just
said? Yes, I am. I'm the oldest of the sisters. I came in 2000. My parents had approached me and said, we're growing. What do you think about this? I, of course, at the time was ridiculously apprehensive. I was thinking, is this what I want to do? Do I want to move home from Boston and figure this out? So, let's cut to the chase. I didn't want the opportunity to pass. I knew that in the end that it was going to be the best thing that happened. So I ended up joining in 2000 and have been here ever since.
Oh my goodness. So what was your first time on air like? Now that we know that you were like, I can't say this, I shouldn't say this. I mean, what was it like for you?
So I'll be completely candid about it. I had to go on with articles of clothing that weren't in my size. So they were, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 sizes too large. And I kept on looking at myself in the monitor thinking, oh my gosh, is that how I look? Is this really what's happening? And so, of course, I was so scared. I probably just looked like a deer in headlights the whole time. I just let the host lead. I really didn't have, any type of personality because I was still cultivating, who I wanted to be at that point. But then I came home and I remember my ex-husband at the time was like, so, how do you feel about that? And I, said, I think it went pretty well. I know I was really scared and apprehensive, but he's like, well, wow. He's like, the camera really does add 10 pounds. Oh. I was like, thank you so much. But ever since then, I mean, it's been an amazing experience. And ever since then, we've had the samples in the right sizes for us.
I'm happy to hear that for sure. So I just want to ask real quick. So Larissa, changing over to other gears here. Larissa, tell me a little bit about your role. I mean, you have this family business. You came in. It was basically established. When you decided to say, all right, I want to be an entrepreneur in this business, what was a moment for you that you were like, I need to step up. I need to kind of look at this differently. I need to approach it in a different way. What advice and what moment would you share with someone who's saying, okay, I want to take some ownership in this family business?
Well, that's, exactly what it was. There definitely was just a defining moment where I said that I needed to find my place. It was always, switching back and forth, selling with the host. And what was my passion? And my passion is fashion. I absolutely love fashion. And I wanted to find a way to incorporate it in myself. So I created a role where I could stand with the models, showing our product underneath how I would wear it, wearing my clothes, whether it be QVC fashions or whatever it is, and just saying how I wear it. And it just has made me love what I do so much.
So do you have a background in fashion? Is that something you've always been passionate in as a young child?
Oh, yes. As a young child, I actually, for my field day in kindergarten, I told my mom I wanted to wear a pink organza dress to field day. And she's like, you're not wearing that. I'm like, I'm wearing it. And I wore it, and I loved it.
How did that go? Did you win?
It was great. But that's how I go through life. I feel good. When I feel confident, I perform better. And that's, something that you're passionate about, whatever, it may be, you apply it to however you can. And for this, it was a family business where I was trying to find my place, being the middle child, being the second one, coming in, it's like, do I want to do this? Do I love it? Yes, I love it. But what is going to fuel me? And I was able to find that.
Larissa is always, sorry.
No, go
Larissa
on,
is always in costume. Costume appropriate.
Oh, well, that's good to hear because you know what? You always need one who's going to show up wearing what they want to wear.
It's not appropriate to other people, but to me, it's so funny when I go to like little kids' birthday parties and everyone's like, what is she wearing? Or when I go to the kids' school, I mean, I can't help it. It's just, it's me.
Well, and that connects with a lot of our viewers too. A lot of us love how there's a dynamic between all four of you, because I think each person can find some of themselves in each of you. And so it really helps us as customers to really see that dynamic and see each of your strengths and personalities. So as far as Catherine, let's dig into your position here. So what is it like on a day-to-day basis in the business? Because you're working with your sisters, you're working with your mom, your dad's in the background there. I mean, how does the day-to-day look like for you and for the company?
Well, it's funny because one time I had said something, and it's kind of become like my famous tagline, that the best part about a family business is the worst part about a family business, and that's your family. So we have our good days and we have our bad days, just like everybody else, but we always come out at the end of the day together and on top. We never go to bed, fighting or whatever. We do always try to resolve it, because at the end of the day, all that you have is family. And I think everybody's really seeing that more and more as, whatever goes on. But, my role is I'm always on my phone. So I love social media. I love being, kind of up to date with everything. So that's kind of where I naturally slid in. And I joined after college. Took me a little bit longer than some other people, but I got there. I have the piece of paper, guys. So that's kind of where I slid in. And then, I was pregnant for a very long time. So I kind of left a little bit, and now I'm back, and I love it. And I love my role, and I love, being on social media, laughing with people, telling stories. I've got 3 very young, wild, and crazy kids, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. So I just keep it real. Anything you see about me is real. I'm not sugarcoating anything.
Well, good. We appreciate that for sure. Now, speaking of real, I want to touch back to Kathy. Kathy, you guys are creating a reality show that I've actually seen snippets of, and you can watch this also if any of you are watching and wondering, what? Tell me a little bit about that reality that's coming into your life.
Well, it's kind of crazy town every day here. We're just trying to find that right network, let's say, to kind of tone down the crazy, but not really. So, yeah, we've been out there doing this for a while. And actually, we were supposed to be out in California a few weeks ago to meet with a production company. So that's where we're headed. So we'll see what happens from there.
Oh, amazing. So
yeah.
Also, I just want to go, Kalina, you were talking about a little bit about kind of strengths in each one of you. Tell me a little bit about what you think your strengths are, and then how you see each of you fall in this business and what it's like to have so many dynamics in this company.
Well, so all of us obviously are very strong women. We all are very opinionated, and that's what drives us forward. That's what keeps us moving, up and to the right. I'd say that my strengths are being organized, task-oriented. You give me a project, I've already got the bullet points down and how we're going to execute it. My mom is definitely the one who comes up with the ideas of where she wants to go. I mean, really, she is the backbone of the entrepreneurship. She's the one who came up with the idea with my dad. So she's definitely manning the ship. I guess as I said, I'm the task, the enforcer. Larissa is the one that consistently makes sure that everything looks good, that we all look great going on. Catherine definitely has helped to fill that as well. But Catherine is the one that helps to communicate that to the public and helps to communicate that to the customers. So, and believe me, there are times when we overlap in good ways. There are times that we overlap in not so good ways, but we definitely have found our rhythm, which I know is very difficult in the family business. So we found our rhythm, and it's I'll knock on wood, it's working for us so far.
It is. So I have a question for you. Have you ever had a moment in your life where someone told you no, and that actually was a pivotal moment where you said, okay, fine, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna look at this differently, and I'm actually going to be better. Do you have an example of that?
I've actually have two.
Okay.
I've had a few moments of no with both of my parents. I think I've been fired from my job about 25 times and counting.
Okay.
So don't think if you're in a family business and your parents fire you, it's not necessarily the end. But there have been many times when I've heard from, my parents' friends or people that we've worked with, people that we work for who have said, you've got really big shoes to fill. I'm not sure that you're going to be able to do this. And, they always cast that doubt because my parents have both set such an amazing standard that living up to it, when other people see how can these three girls possibly live up to that standard and fit in, I think it looks impossible from the outside. And it's really that drives all three of us to rise to the challenge, to say, what can we do to keep growing the business? I had someone literally say that to me and say, you've got really big shoes to fill. Let's see what happens. And at that point I said, okay, my parents have an amazing business. They've got a lot of traditional designs. They've got, amazing silhouettes, but what's my role going to be? So let's modernize it. Let's try to, expand the breadth of product that we bring QVC. Let's try to fit, a larger customer base, trying to, bridge the gap between generations. And that's what we've continued to do with both of my sisters as well. It's just continually moving forward, trying to get that new customer, trying to bridge the gap, and making sure that we can try to find something for everyone.
No, that's something that I think we all appreciate, that you guys all show up. You're not just saying some of you do this, some of you do that. You all work together, and you can definitely see that. I know in the backgrounds when people don't see everything going on behind the scenes at QVC, I'm like, they're all working, they're all like hustling in these spaces. Yeah. So it's really a testament to how you all work together and how you each individually have that drive and entrepreneurship, which is needed for a company like Breezies. So I want to talk to you, Larissa. Larissa, you mentioned that obviously family and fashion is kind of a bridge that you like to put together here. If someone was saying, I want to create a product, I want to try something new, what advice would you give them to say, you could do it, you should try it? Like what moment for you did you realize that I can show up and do this job and I can make it my own?
Again, it's really, if you find that passion, just like my parents did when they started this company, brought together things that they were passionate about, and it drove them here. And it's that same moment that it was for me. It's like I figured out a way that I could be part of this business where I could, be so excited to go to work and go on air and help the customer. And that to me is my favorite part, is that, you may see a bra and you say, well, what would I wear that with? And I can show you and I can help you. Definitely the passion is something that you're just going to keep going back to, and it's going to come naturally. I mean, you have to work for it, of course, and put yourself in uncomfortable situations, but you're going to grow from that.
That's so true. So how do you guys pick the designs and the colors and the choices and the fabrics? How does that look like?
Well, I mean, that's the most fun part for me. And I know for all of us, because, all four of us, we're all different sizes. We all have different preferences. I need full support. I need to be lifted up. So I'm always looking at that. But then, of course, I want to feel pretty. So, in general, we all agree that we want, those pretty styles, but we want function. We want to make people feel good. And that's, something that we all go back to at the end of the day is, okay, we all love this. It's going to make you feel good.
Well, and it does. I have a couple Breezies products, and they always make me feel good. And it just makes me feel like somebody thought through everything that I need, so that I don't have to do that decision. I can just say, is that pretty? Yes, I would like that one.
Yes. Well, we hope everyone feels that way. We know we do. But we work so hard at it. We wear those styles. We don't bring them to you and just say, oh, we wear them. We make comments on them. It's like, no, this isn't going to work. We got to fix it. So.
Oh, well, good to hear. Good to hear. Catherine, a quick question for you. So as far as obstacles are concerned, what would you say the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome coming into this business, being a mom, like you said, and also being the youngest?
Yeah, I mean, I would say my biggest obstacle is being a mom, because it's, where do I draw the line of, am I just a mom of these 3 kids, or am I a working woman and a provider too? Because I am both of them. And I think that's kind of always been like my challenge in my own head. And then kind of like this, fight I always pick with my husband, like, well, I'm a provider too. I work. I'm not just home with the kids. I think that's kind of been like my biggest challenge too, is just being a mom and work. Because if something's going on with my kids, sorry, Mom, like, I cannot do this. Like, they are first and foremost. No one else is watching them. Don't even look at me. Like, that's my biggest challenge in life, is where to draw the line and cut the umbilical cord.
That's a good point. So I'm actually curious to know each of you, because each of you have had experiences like this. So we can go however you want to do, raise your hand, or we can all see everyone. But tell me how you are balancing life and business. And life can mean because you're a mom. It can mean because you are trying harder things at the same time. But it could also just mean, how do you balance in general? And I want to hear each of your input and insight, because I feel like it might be different.
Yes, I mean, I'll start because, I mean, this is where it all began. It's very hard to draw the line, Courtney, between being a boss and being a mom. So I know what Catherine is saying, that, where do you draw the line? Do you just leave your office and you're, the head of this whole group, and then in the next minute you become that mom? It's a very fine line, and I've had to walk it for many years, and sometimes the girls don't understand it, but it's kind of like, I've always kind of given them a look like, we have to do this, and that's always how we proceed. We're always there to make it right, and it's tough at the end of the day. It's like, which hat was I wearing, mom or boss? And I don't know. We're still all together.
Which is good. That's good. That means there's something working for.
At the end of the day.
For sure.
So I think, I mean, Mom was giggling a lot during her, her speech. But, I do think, I look at her and I know that it's hard. Most of the time she pretty much is boss. It's hard to soften because, of course, she's still trying to, be the head of this, organization. But she does a very good job with it. As for me, I know that I've got a fantastic network of people. Both of my kids are in hockey. I've got a lot of different hockey parents that help out. And that's the whole thing. Thank God the rink is right around the corner from QVC, because in between I'll meet with the host, I'll pop over, check out their practice, maybe drive them home, come back for the show. I think it's just literally taking it day by day. If I try to plan out my week, it ends up becoming overwhelming, but I do it day by day, and you just figure it out. And now that I'm pregnant and we'll have a newborn baby very soon.
Oh, congrats!
Thank you. When their school and hockey starts again, it should be very interesting to see how I manage that.
Oh, well, we know that you're going to do a wonderful job, and clearly you do have a very good support system.
Yes, I do. I definitely do.
Yeah, I mean, to Kalina's point, it takes a village. So when she got the baby, and we've all been through, our pregnancies, and we take over when one's down, we pick back up, and we do do the things we have to do for our team, and that's what we always do. But yeah, like for me, I feel like what we do makes me a better mom, even though the schedule is, crazy sometimes. And sometimes, I'm sleeping on the couch in the middle of the day if I've been up all night, but it gives me purpose, and I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So therefore, I feel like I'm a better person all around. So while it is sometimes hard to find the balance, it's, I find that it makes me better.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, we are very fortunate that there are so many of us so that, if something comes up, someone can fill in for someone, but it's just you got to kind of find your strength and like your inner power and where that's going to be. And, my oldest son is special needs and he fights every single day, and I always try to look at it from that standpoint that if he can do this, I can do that for him. So, it's just kind of finding like that balance in life of work, fun, play, and having a great support system. Because if you don't have support, you don't have anything, because you need people behind you rallying. You need people there to help. You cannot do anything alone. You always need someone to just kind of pick you up or be there to just say, hey, I'll help. Yeah, I got it. And that's what we're so fortunate to have, because, maybe I can't do this because all of a sudden my kid's sick. I got to pick him up from school. And, Larissa will be like, oh, girl, I got you, or, whatever. It's really, we're very, very fortunate to have each other.
And each be able to understand each other, because you all kind of have some of the same characteristics as far as like being mothers, being business owners, being entrepreneurs. I mean, you kind of all walk in the same paths. You just do it in your own way, which is really beautiful. So I have to ask, what is maybe some of the funniest moments in the family business? Like, do you have a memory where you're like, this was the most ridiculous thing that's happened, or this was hilarious, or this happened and we didn't see it coming? Do you have funny stories about entrepreneurship and Breezies being around for, I mean, how long has Breezies been here? Like almost 30?
25 years.
Yeah,
25. Yeah, almost 26 years. Yes.
I think Larissa tell the story of the things that were under her desk.
Yeah. When we only had one child in the little child in the family coming to work with us, we were sitting in the office one day and we were working at our barn, which is all these horse stalls, set up that is at my parents' property. And, it was like a really cold day. We always were kind of just like trying to make it work in there. And I had my nephew Pierre sitting on my lap. I was like half doing work, half reading to him. And he looks at me and he's like, Lala, there's a mouse under your desk. And we jumped up, so high. Like it was just, but that's it. We have snakes, hanging over the printer. It's just how we roll.
But it wasn't just one mouse. I think that there was a whole family of mice living in her bottom drawer.
So then we all ran out and we're like, well, wait, like who's going to deal with the mouse? But I mean, that's kind of like how it always is. We're like, who's going to do this? We all like kind of share roles. I'll never forget, someone called the office one time and they were like, I'd like to speak to HR. And Mom had picked up the phone and she was like, okay, 1 second. And she put the phone on hold and she goes, so who would like to be HR today? Because people don't realize it's just us. Like
it's just us.
All it is just us.
That's incredible. Oh, y'all
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Kathy, go ahead. Crack up. This is the moment to do it.
This has been the highlight of Mom's. She's loving this.
Oh, yeah. She'll start calling us on Skype, just random days.
I know that's the worst and best part of this is Mom will be like, let's do that Skype thing again.
Oh. And now you know how to do it.
Yeah. Now she knows how to do it since we all had to help set up.
Yes. Well, what is some last piece of advice, inspiration, or maybe sneak peeks of things you are all excited about coming up? Tell us something that you're optimistic about right now during this time, and we can just go down the line, starting with Kathy.
Oh, we have such an incredible year coming up. I'm so excited. We're getting into different products that fortunately, we have an amazing merchandising team. We have super amazing factories, and we're going into a couple different areas that we've never really explored before. So I am really excited about that. We're already working on spring of 21, if you can believe it. And I think it's going to be such an exciting year for the Breezies and the Gendel girls.
Awesome.
Yes, I agree. I think that when it comes down to it, all of us just get so excited for launching new products, for seeing ideas on paper finally come to fruition, and being able to talk to the customer about why we love those products so much. So I think that I agree with Mom. It comes down to, where we're going next with colors, where we're going next with styling, where we may be branching into different categories and trying new things. It's always very exciting to see something new finally air. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this year as I do 2021 as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm excited, thinking how our lifestyle has changed so much. My fashions have changed so much. I'm every day it's like, which jumpsuit am I gonna wear today? But we're thinking about what's underneath, what's gonna make us feel good, when maybe we're not feeling good. And it's going through those styles and looking what we have coming up. And while I feel like I've gotten more casual, we've got so many awesome styles that we're just so excited to show you guys.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm just excited, I mean, sometimes, like, when it's like whisper down the lane, by the time it gets to me, I'm like, oh, she took my point. Oh, yep, mine too.
I should have started with you, Catherine.
I know. But no, I mean, you saved the best for last. So I'll just reiterate what everyone said and say,
Well, here, I'm going to give you a different question then.
okay.
As far as how are you staying optimistic at this time? What's something that you're doing at home that just makes you feel like, okay, I feel good about myself? Like, what's something that you're doing? I mean, I need some ideas. I'm kind of getting a little stir crazy over here. Catherine, you tell me.
You've got to get creative. I've taken a lot of virtual, like, exercise classes with Larissa so that we can, like, kind of do it together and push each other. And oh my gosh, when my children is entering the room right now and I'm going to freak out. My dad's supposed to be watching them downstairs. But, you just got to find like a way to make it fun. So like we've kind of done that because we used to go to classes together. So we've done it, just now via this, like Skype. Yeah. I've come up with like these random scavenger hunts with my kids, like asking my neighbors to put a teddy bear outside so we can go on a bear hunt. Like, I mean, I'm really I'm reaching outside of the box here and just trying to stay positive. We have our health, we have each other, and that's all we can ask for right now.
Those are good ideas. A bear hunt. That's very clever. Very clever. Well, ladies, thank you all so much. Any parting words that anyone feels like, I just have to say this before we leave? This is your moment if you'd like to.
I'm going to leave that up to the girls.
I was going to leave it up to you.
No, we just had so much fun and we love you.
Yeah, I mean, we love all you guys. We're in this together. We're here together, and just check out our social media.
Yes. So where can we follow you? Where can we follow the journey of you as a Gendel Girls clan and also Breezies?
You can find us on Gendel Girls on Instagram, on Facebook. And Courtney, I mean, the amount of work that you put into this before you even got to us, it was like amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much. We appreciate it, Courtney.
Oh, well, I'm happy to have you all here, and thank you for taking the time for us, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate Breezies, too. Thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Have a good rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.